Welcome to Stonehands. My name is Simo, and today we will dwell into the topic how speech identifies us, how it gives us an identity. I grew up speaking and learning 3 languages: Estonian, Finnish, and English. I can comprehend various dialects and accents in each of those languages. And of course, I have my own accent. So my mother tongue is Estonian. So I grew up speaking mostly Estonian, but then most of my life I spent in Finland. So I spoke Finnish and learned English through video games, etc. and from TV. So my mother was watching English drama like TV and serials and documentaries when I was a child, and I was always watching them by her side and wondering like, oh yeah, and the movies on the TV were in American English, and I started identifying different personalities in each of it. Like for example, in Finnish culture, like when people make presentations, speeches, when they are with each other, there can be long breaks of silence. There is no small talk. Finnish cannot comprehend the idea of small talk. For example, Americans, they have to tell all this chitty chatty, hey, how are you, blah 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 blah. And as I had a Finnish upbringing, I'm just looking like, what the heck is going on? Can't that person just shut up for a minute? I'm trying to think. The person did shut up. I'm trying not to think now for a moment. Whew. Wow, that was hard. And then again, blah 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 blah. Would he shut up? I'm trying to think. That's one of the main Finnish problems, you know. But Finnish are really chatty people that they love to talk to each other. They love to communicate, but they don't speak nonsense. They get straight into the point. And that's a definition of a personality, as it has defined me, that I get straight to a point. There is no like, what a beautiful weather today is. It is not raining, the sun is shining, and it's so beautiful in this marina. What the heck? What beautiful and the beautiful weather? What? No, it's like, yeah, look, great place. Let's go. You see, no infills. But my English personality is like more like, I'm thinking about concepts. Like many people say that English speaking world is in their heads. They're thinking too much and trying to intellectualize all the things, all the instinctual things. Like in Estonian, it's so important that you have common sense, that you act like a peasant. Like there's like like for example, your child wants to pee, like, Daddy, I want to pee. You take trousers down and let the child pee wherever you are. It's not like, I just must hide my child, or where the heck is toilet? No, this is the place. You do the most logical thing, or you don't have to intellectualize about topics like Germans do. Like you give an answer to a German like, female is a gender. And the German person starts thinking about it. Female might be a gender if you give them a permission to have a gender. And if they have a gender, then they can define which gender the female is. Is it a male or a female? That's fucking German. That's fucking German thinking. That's really hard, you know. And it's different in every language which we obtain. We get different personalities and different characteristics, how we start seeing the world and explaining ourselves. And in different environments, it can be a benefit or a lack of something. It depending on your persona, how it has been shapen. So when you're like polyglot, speaking 7 languages, it's really easy to comprehend many dimensions. Like when you go to Spain or Italy, it's so easy to speak with the hands like It's clearly understood what is going on with those emotions. Or in our country, the vast minority, like around 20% of the people living in this country, their first language is Russian, and they are more emotional, like a man stands out for his woman, like or there's this joke that a man and a woman, Russian man and a woman, are arguing. So woman goes to police for the man because he's like breaking the chairs and all kinds of stuff. And the police comes and tries to arrest the man. And then the wife attacks the police. What are you doing to my man? You are trying to assault him. Leave him alone. That's a Russian temperament, that people just get really emotional and they can't get out from their emotion. Or this interesting thing in Finland that happens sometimes, like people take so much emotion into their bellies that they can't express it. They're so Finnish, like and then something happens and a man takes a gun and goes and shoots like 5 people in the bar, and then all the Finnish like, I feel you brother. I feel what was going on in you. They're not saying that was a horrendous crime, but it was like, I feel you brother. But then there was one immigrant man stabbing 10 people in Turku, in the former capital of Finland, and Finnish people were so outraged, like how he dares to come to our country and attack people. They were so furious. But when a Finnish man shot like 5 people with a gun, it was like, oh, I feel you, brother. And it's just shaping of personality and how we identify ourselves, like with those nationalities. And I'm kind of a person who does not support nationalities, because it's fucking hard to pronounce on this moment. No, because the national countries are a phenomenon of last 100 or 150 years. Like nationality of Finnish or Estonian, like 150 years ago, there were like the common people, they called themselves, like Finno-Ugric people, and some were from England, some were from Lapland, from Karelia, from Viruma, Vironia, from Livonia, and they all were the same folk. And they even wanted to create a country like Yugoslavia, a great Finno-Ugric country that would encompass the nowadays Finland, Karelia, Lapland, Estonia, Livonia, Latvia, Saint Petersburg, etc. But sadly they failed, because 150 years ago there were empires like the Russian Empire, there was even a French king still intact until they became a democracy, or the great British overseas empire, and suddenly they became English. What the heck? And Scottish and Welsh. But actually in the past it was more broader, and there were more niche speaking groups of people. Like 150 years ago there were like basically 100 different languages in France. Nowadays they are called regional dialects, but at that time they were different languages because they had slightly different grammar, slightly hard to comprehend each other. Like we went to Italy, to the north of Italy this year, near Turin. the former capital of the Kingdom of Italy, where still the king lives. The King of Italy still lives. And problem there's a regional language that 3 million people are speaking. Like, that's normal. And we start to take those nationalities like Italian or French, whatever. It's more broader and more niche thing. But maybe we are going to strive for the global language, the global domination of English, that in the end we will have a global language that everyone in the world can speak, and a version of a variant of an English that has been globalized. Maybe. And I see it's not a problem, but it's like a Tower of Babylon. Like, people wanted to build a great tower to the sky to show God that we are powerful. And God decided, peace off. You will now not comprehend each other. You will start speaking different languages to each other. Oh no. And more ancient the language is, the more complex it is. Like when we take the Lithuanian or actually Estonian, we have like some 14 or 16 different phases. I'm not a linguist, so I can't explain the technicalities of a language, but it's the hardest language in the world to learn. So the old languages, they are able to gather a garnish throughout the centuries and eons that they have been developing in the mouth. But when the new languages are formed, like the English is quite a new one, like the Old English is quite remarkably different to today's English. But the pronunciation for the Old English is really easy for me as an Estonian and Finnish speaker. But by speaking the modern language, I have really strong accent, as you can hear. But it's not a problem, because I love my accent, and I'm propagating that you can have your regional English accents. That goes to German already. I went to German with my ideas, so please let me come back. Let's have in silence. No, the silence has ended. So, but the language gives an ability to comprehend other people, and with language we give out our message. We talk to our brains, and our brain talks to our body how we are. Oh, life is a struggle. Oh shit, I'm aging. Oh shit. No, but if you say, oh, life is beautiful, I'm getting younger, and you start attracting opportunities to actually be younger and feel this vibrancy in your body. Like, I know some people who are 40 or 50 and they look so old and so sick. Like this pandemic nowadays, that people eat ultra processed foods. That's just fucking pandemic. When I see those people, I just wonder, like, oh, like the wife of my brother. I thought she was like 40 or something, and then I heard that she's 25, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, eating crap food makes us older, but we can reverse all that is going on in our bodies, just making lifestyle changes. Like my old classmates, like we were in the school and they went to Australia, and in the school they were like partying and taking drugs, went to Australia, started surfing, and they stopped taking drugs, and they grew long hair and were so in a beautiful shape, because sun and sea, they made them great. But also, the language gives out the mentality, like the Australians. You know the Australian accent, they are just kind of a working class, but who have made the whole country into the upper middle class, because their accent has given them this power. And when we start looking at poor regions where people have kind of accents, maybe their outlook on life coming from the language, oh, life is hard, life is like Finnish, that they are looking for the security, the feeling of security. That's why most Finnish can live quite good lives. They can have an apartment and be a working alcoholic. Like, what the heck? In Estonia, you end up on street, or the housing crisis in UK, like people end up on the street even when they are able to work. But in Finland, you can be a fucking alcoholic and you have an apartment and you can live there till the end of your life, like 10 years or 20 years, depends how much you're drinking. No one does nothing to you. And that's because they are all the time addressing that we need security, everything must be safe and measurable. Is the process going? They take it step by step and they are really cautious. And that's how they have created a welfare society. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, hit the bell button, check out the videos on manifestation, that you can use your voice to create a desired outcome. Like, as I mentioned, like the regional accents or languages, how they create this mentality in people. Or in Estonia, like we have this class of entrepreneurs who are like rich, and common people who are saying that those entrepreneurs are stealing their money. And it comes from the language, because mistrust has been coded into the language through the Soviet times, that people are afraid of people who are creating systems, I could say, and then they start attacking them. So I hope you enjoyed and see you soon. Goodbye.